For mental math today, we are going to practice in-out boxes. So on the screen, I have two of them, and I'm going to explain the first one, and then I want you to try the second one with me. So an in-out box is kind of like a special math machine where you put a number in, something happens to it, and then another number comes out. So when we do in-out machines, what we have to do is we have to think about, well, what happens to that number in order to get the out? So if we look at this first one, I have the number 6 is going in, and I have the number 10 is coming out. So I have to think about, well, how would that happen? What would happen to the 6 in order to get to 10? Well, I know it's getting bigger, so there's probably going to be addition that's used. So I have to think about 6 plus what would equal 10. So let's go ahead and count out. If I start at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I know that I would add 4 in order to get 10. So my hypothesis, my guess is that the rule, what this machine does, is it probably adds 4. But I need to check that and make sure that's true. So I'm going to go down to another one that also has the in and the out to check my rule. So this third line, this also has both the in and the out. So let's check. Is 11 plus 4, if that is my rule, that means 11 plus 4 equals 15. So is 11 plus 4 equal to 15? It is. So my rule checks out. I know that my rule for this in-out box is adding 4. So now I need to fill in my two other blanks. So I need to fill in this number here, and I also need to fill in this number here in order to complete this table. So on the second one, on this one, I know that the number that comes out is 14, but I need to know the number that goes in. So I'm not going to add 4 to 14 because that's going to get me what would come out, and I need what comes in. So I need to do the inverse or the opposite operation. So if I'm adding for my rule, what would be the opposite to undo? I would subtract. So I'm actually going to do 14 minus 4 in order to figure out what I would put in. So 14 minus 4 equals 10. So now let's just check. 10 plus 4, does that equal 14? It does. So that one checks out. Now let's go to my last one where I have my 15. When I have my in, I can just apply my rule. So my rule is plus 4. So 15 plus 4 equals 19. And now I have every spot on my table filled in, so this in-out box is complete. Let's look at our next one. This one, I have an in and an out, and I have a few more filled in. So let's start with this first one that's filled in. It goes from 9 to 8. So what happens to a 9 in order to get to 8? Well, this one, I know that my number is getting smaller. So when I get smaller, usually I use subtraction. So 9 minus what would equal 8? If I'm counting backwards, 9, 8, I just subtract 1. So I'm guessing that my rule might be minus 1. Let's check on another one that's completely filled in for the in and the out, and that would be this last one. I have my in and my out. So my rule that my guess is minus 1. So 1 minus 1, does that equal 0? It does. So I know my rule for this one would be minus 1. Now what I want you to do is figure out what would be the out for 12 and what would be the in for 5. Good luck.